Everyone wants a big change. A better life. A stronger mind. A successful future. But most people wait for a big moment to begin. They think, one day I will wake up different. One day I will change everything. But what if that day never comes? What if real change is not built in big moments, but in the smallest ones? This is the story of a boy named Ethan. Ethan lived in a quiet town surrounded by fields and long empty roads. From the outside, his life looked normal. He went to school. He had friends. He laughed sometimes. But inside, he felt stuck. He had dreams. Big ones. He wanted to become successful. He wanted to make his family proud. He wanted to prove to himself that he was capable of more. But every time he tried to change, it lasted only a few days. He would say, "From tomorrow, I will wake up early." Tomorrow came, and he slept in. He would say, "I will study seriously now." But after 20 minutes, he reached for his phone. He would say, "This time I will stay consistent." But within a week, he was back to his old habits. Slowly, something dangerous began to grow inside him. Not laziness. Not failure. But self-doubt. At night, he would lie in bed staring at the ceiling and whisper, "What is wrong with me? Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I always start, but never continue?" Days passed like this. Until one evening, everything began to change. Ethan was walking home when he noticed an old man sitting outside a small workshop. The man was quietly working with tiny wooden pieces, shaping them carefully. There was something unusual about him. He looked calm. Focused. At peace. Ethan stopped and watched him. After a few minutes, he asked, "What are you making?" The old man smiled and said, "A bridge." Ethan looked confused. "There is no river here." The man chuckled softly. "This is not for a river outside," he said. "It is for a river inside." Ethan didn't understand, but something about the answer made him stay. The old man introduced himself. His name was Oliver. He had once been a craftsman known for building strong wooden structures. But now, he spent his time teaching people something much deeper. Oliver looked at Ethan carefully and said, "You look like someone who wants to change his life." Ethan nodded quietly. "I try," he said. "But I always fail." Oliver picked up a small wooden stick. "Do you see this?" he asked. Ethan nodded. "It looks useless, right?" "Yes." Oliver placed it on the table. Then he placed another one beside it. And another. And another. Soon, there were many small sticks. Then slowly, carefully, he began to connect them. Piece by piece. Step by step. After some time, a small structure began to appear. It looked like the beginning of a bridge. Ethan watched closely. "This," Oliver said, "is how change works. Most people," Oliver continued, "want to build a strong bridge in one day. They try to change everything at once. They make big promises. Big plans. But they forget something important." He pointed at the small sticks. "A bridge is not built in one day. It is built piece by piece. Habit by habit. Day by day." Ethan listened carefully. "But small actions feel useless," he said. Oliver smiled. "They feel useless, until they are repeated." The next day, Oliver gave Ethan a simple task. "Do one small habit," he said. "Something so easy that you cannot fail." Ethan frowned. "That's it? That's it." Ethan went home thinking. He decided his habit would be simple. He would study for just 15 minutes a day. Not 1 hour. Not 2 hours. Just 15 minutes. The first day, he did it. It felt easy. The second day, he did it again. The third day, he almost skipped. His mind said, "It's too small. It doesn't matter." But then he remembered Oliver's words. Piece by piece. So he did it anyway. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Something strange began to happen. The habit became automatic. He no longer forced himself. He simply did it. Then one day, something changed. After 15 minutes, he didn't stop. He continued for 30 minutes. Then 1 hour. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Encouraged, Ethan added another small habit. He started waking up just 10 minutes earlier. At first, it was hard. But it was small enough to manage. Then he added reading. Just 5 pages a day. Then he added exercise. Just 10 minutes. Each habit was small. Almost insignificant. But together, they began to change him. Months passed. Ethan was no longer the same person. His focus improved. His energy increased. His confidence grew. People began to notice. "Something is different about you," his friends said. "You seem more disciplined." Ethan smiled. He knew the truth. There was no big secret. No sudden transformation. Just small habits, repeated daily. 1 year later, a major opportunity came. A competitive exam. Thousands of students applied. The pressure was high. Many students panicked. They tried to study everything at once. They burned out quickly. But Ethan remained calm. He didn't try to do everything. He simply followed his habits. One step at a time. One task at a time. Just like placing one wooden piece after another. When the results came, Ethan had succeeded. Not because he was the smartest. Not because he was the luckiest. But because he was the most consistent. He went back to Oliver. The old man was still sitting in his workshop. Still building. Still calm. Ethan smiled and said, "I understand now." Oliver looked up. "What do you understand?" Ethan replied, "Big success is built on small habits. Every small action matters. Even when it feels useless." Oliver nodded. "And what will you do now?" Ethan smiled. "I will keep building." Years later, Ethan became known as someone who could achieve anything he set his mind to. People asked him, "What is your secret?" He always gave the same answer. "There is no secret. Just small habits, done every single day." And now, let me ask you something. What is one small habit you can start today? Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Maybe it is reading 1 page. Maybe it is exercising for 5 minutes. Maybe it is working on your goal for just 10 minutes. It does not need to be big. It just needs to be consistent. Because one small habit, repeated daily, can build a life you never imagined. If this story made you think even for a moment, don't let that feeling fade. Like this, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to keep growing together. Because your future is not built in one big step. It is built in small habits. Start today.